Due to popular demand, I will be hosting a card review. So first, I should probably address the new type of card, which is equipment, of course. Equipment are a type of card in Legends of Runeterra that equip to a unit called bear, and as a separate entity. While equipped, it shares their text, the stat buffs, and also positive keywords to its bear. This sharing cannot be interacted with. And I'm pretty sure equipment uses spell mana, which is kind of odd, considering it's not a spell. Or maybe I'm just totally wrong, and it's just an attached unit that you can only play once per turn, but who am I kidding? I'm wrong. It usually goes that way. Finally, let's take a look at the first piece of equipment. Ah yes, Lucian's guns. I got you, didn't I? You probably forgot this was a card. Anyway, moving on to the real first card, the Darkin ballista. Honestly, not a big fan of this. I mean, I know they have to put the gem and the words next to each other, and I know it exists on other cards, but you know, I'm not, for some reason when I saw this, my brain instantly went to the 2/3 elusive tough unit from Demacia as well. Now this card has some interesting interactions with Chip. If both of them are unupgraded, then they kill each other, but if one of them is upgraded, then it kills the other and survives, but if they're both upgraded, then they kill each other again. Wait a second, revive the strongest dead allied champion from Shurima? And it costs potentially 3 if you've just equipped something, which can't be hard to do. This opens up so many possibilities. Well, I guess it's a card. And what did they do to the poor Sandstone Charger? Jagged Cutlass, a respectable card, but I am concerned about the one cost thing. You could just keep dropping it on units and then they would die and then you get the equipment back and then you could just keep doing that, putting them on more and more units. This is might, but better. Like I'm imagining just putting this on a husk and then killing the husk and then getting the sword back and then putting on another husk and then killing that husk. Oh yeah, I forgot I'm supposed to be rating these cards, so I'm gonna rate on design and power. Design is how creative the cards are and power is how powerful the card will probably be. This one, design 0 out of 10. This is unacceptable. For me, this one's going to be a design of 1 Stalking Shadows out of 3 Demacian draw cards. Kayn. Like, why does this need to be here? Why can't it just be below? Amazing card, but it's probably going to be way too strong for 3 mana. For design, 1 Anivia out of 1 Renekton, and for power, 1 Renekton out of 1 Anivia. 5 cost 2/5 challenger from who knows where. Origin, the Shadow Reaper. Auto-equip, the Darkin Scythe. When I kill an enemy, heal me too. Looks pretty sweet, especially since you're always going to get a Kayn by round 5 probably, because you're going to be playing 3 cultists before that. You're always going to have Kayn up, and he recalls himself, so Yasuo buff? And his level 2 is pretty interesting too. Namely, please take note of the mana cost. It costs 0. First 0 cost champion, yay! But also, it transforms all copies of him rather than all allied copies of him, so presumably you can steal your opponent's Kayn pick from them. And it doesn't say everywhere, so I'm guessing Legion Deserter doesn't work. A sad day for us all. Now Kayn turns into either Rost, which is shown on the left, or the Shadow Assassin, which I've put on the right. Now I do really love the design of these cards because, just like how it is in League, in a competitive environment, Rost is the only one viable. Oh yeah, the equipment. Yeah, I forgot about that. Never mind, the Assassin is probably viable. My concern is though, you just get the equipment back when they die, right? So you can put this on anybody. Okay, whatever. Design is going to be a Diamond 1 out of Diamond 3. And for power, I'll give it 19 puff caps. Silence and suppress? Malzahar? Hexbliterator? Deal 5 to a unit. If I kill it, obliterate it? New favorite card. New favorite card. Oh gosh. We're gonna see a lot of that green shark. Honestly, I kind of really like these cards that aren't exactly super overpowered, but they are really strong, but they, you know, don't fit into any archetype, so they're not that strong. Destroy unit's equipment, and if it's a follower, silence it. Wait. Silence it? Silence the equipment, but isn't it destroyed? Glad we got another defector. 10 out of 10. When I'm summoned, draw an equipment. The first time each round an unequipped ally is equipped, refill 1 spell mana and grant them +1/+0. Vengeance was my favorite spell card prior to this, but now, look at this. It's the same thing, but from Piltover and Zond, yet it obliterates instead. And I really just like saying the word obliterate aloud. It makes me feel powerful. Destroy a unit's equipment, and if it's a follower, silence it. Destroy a unit's... Ah, this one's even worse. Like, what the heck is this? If it's a follower, silence it. Okay, silence the follower. I get it now. I need to get my English looked at. I don't have an opinion on this card. This is just a budget Ren Shadowblade. Unfortunately, you cannot do anything really creative with this, so, I'm gonna give it a poor score. How is this card balanced? There's no world where this is balanced. 4/3 isn't a stat line you see very often, especially amongst 3 drops. Although it would be funny milling yourself with this card, so I'll give it a Tiana Crown Guard out of a real elite card. I've just made a horrifying revelation. I've been spelling guard wrong my entire life. Yeah, I don't mind this card. It's just barrier and lifesteal. Seems like a lot. I think it should be one or the other, right? Wait, no, I haven't. I'm right, right? I'm right. Right? This card is also stupidly broken. I'll give it a, this card will be played in every single Ionian deck with no... It's weird how often I interrupt myself. Disciple of Doran, when I'm summoned, create a preparation in hand. Well, let's see what this preparation is. Okay, I guess. Just move it slightly lower. The Master Yi. Round start. Reduce the cost of a spell in your hand by 1 this round, and Flow. Grant all allied Master Yis everywhere +2/+0. For those of you who don't know, Flow is an effect that triggers when you play 2 or more spells or skills last round. The way I understand it, think Eyes of the Dragon. He seems like a very Ionian card, that's for sure. And after he's dealt 12 damage, he turns into this. This is the exact same thing, except when he attacks, he immediately strikes the weakest enemy, something that has never happened before, an instant strike in Legends of Runeterra. Now let's enter something I'm calling Splash Analysis, and there's potentially spoilers, I guess, if you just want to look at the splashes in-game for yourself. Whatever, moving on. In all of Kayn's cards and his associated cards, he's fighting the Yi people, like this one who has too many eyeballs. In Ross's art, you can clearly see Yoon the Prodigy and whatever the Dragonling summoning guy's doing down there, I don't know what he's doing, taking a light nap. But that's not the important bit. The important bit is Shadow Assassin Kayn. First though, I would like to point out how beautiful the color theory is in this particular splash. Then you can ignore the 2 figures to the left. What's important is Yi is meditating on the right side, and he is still meditating in his own splash art. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Splash analysis over. Since it's almost bedtime, I'm going to be moving over to another section. I'm going to call it Speed Judge because I judge people really quickly based on limited evidence. I mean, I'm going to be moving quickly while judging cards. Let's go. A really cool concept, turning somebody into a weapon. I want to see more cards like this. This is amazing. This just reminds me of the other card. Finally! Although 6 mana is a bit steep, feel free to pause if you need to read the card. Take some initiative. Never going to see play outside of a deck that includes Rumble. Actually, I could be horribly wrong in this assumption. The Mysterious Portal is a boon that summons a random 2 or 3 cost follower on your board. Now, boon is like a chime, or like a trap, but for your own benefit. Boring but necessary card. The Tea Maker is just as boring and just as necessary, but since it is a Fae, it might be used in some sort of weird Fae deck. This could single-handedly bring Bard Bandle City back. Meh. Yes, yes! This is the perfect card. Now, how is a full-on library elusive? I'd hope you'd be able to see a library. Interesting. It looks a lot like an alternative to Ava Achiever. Lame, but I mean, I'd play it. Premium Teemo. It's hard for me to see how this card wouldn't be annoying. Okay, that's it. Good night, or good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, or